Hey everybody, welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 183. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burlyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl, and our two contributors to The Arena Productions, Fubu87 and Leah the Hatless. We have a full crew with us in the house today to talk about Gamescom and all the news that happened and that's going on right now. So how are you all doing? Burley, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's cooled down here this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like today was the hottest it got, and today only went up to 26. So it's been nice. Most days have been like 18, 19. I haven't been it gets to the point where I don't run the air conditioner or fans till like basically by the time I'm done work. So it's nice. It's saving me some money, which is always good.
Nice. Carl, is it around the same there? Over in New York?
It's pretty good here. Let's see, 77 right now. Yeah, it's nice.
Nice. How about for you two, Fubu and Leah over in Madeira? How is it over there?
I mean,
hot.
much better for me since my house
Literal
didn't burn
flames,
down last
right?
week. So,
Yeah.
it's a win. But the fires have been awful. It just burned down the entire central part of the island. Is still going on. They had to bring
Damn.
airplanes, Canadairs, to help put out some of the flames. It's just horrific.
So maybe it's due to the fact that the Acolyte was canceled.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
They're preparing the next episode. It's going to be a Dark Vader Origins, and there's going to be Mustafar. It's going to be all burned. It's going to be so bad.
Well, I hope
Rest
everything
in
works
peace,
out there.
Acolyte. You were fine while it lasted, I guess.
Yeah.
But hopefully, most of it's under control. This
That's
new
good.
one is something separate, but
Yeah.
the weather is also gonna help because it's back to being
Skin
humid.
color.
So
Yeah.
gonna heat
Yeah,
up.
here in Japan, I mean, this has been a really, really bad summer, weather-wise. I mean, we have a second typhoon coming in early next week. And yesterday I was on the computer here and I was working on getting, Leah's video up, and we'll be talking about that later in the show. And in a 15-minute span, it went from just being a little cloudy to the sky was completely dark and black and thunder and lightning, and it just like a monsoon of rain for 2 hours.
Damn, man.
Just pouring rain for 2 hours, and thunder and lightning that whole time. So I had to turn off the computer because you don't want to short, So yeah, I mean that's the way it is here in Japan, particularly in August. I mean it's 100% humidity, so the late morning, early afternoon it's nice, and then about 3-4 in the afternoon, boom. Yeah, it just starts coming down.
That's just
So.
insane.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of what's insane, though, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of the Gamescom news in this episode, so stay tuned for that. We got a lot of news to cover on that. But first, I want to talk about what's really insane sales numbers and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Black Myth Wukong, 10 million sold in 3 days. Compared to Helldivers 2, I think it was on Steam, 12 million in like 12 weeks. So, yeah, Burley, your thoughts on this, and what does this say for the Chinese development, especially? This is a big boost for that region, and possibly, getting a lot more titles from over in China in the future. What do you think of these sales numbers? Just incredible.
Oh, it's insane. I figured the game would sell well, like a couple million, but to hit over 10 million, wow, good on them. They're just sitting here. They're going, just counting the money here. They're just counting the money. And I think this is just gonna exactly, Fubu. I think this is just gonna take word to some of these other studios out there, being like, hey, they did this. Let's start making some games and getting them out into the rest of the world, getting them out there. Because you never know till you try.
Yeah, definitely. Carl, what are your thoughts on Wukong and it hitting the 10 million mark in like just 3 days?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I don't think anyone would have expected from a Western perspective. It seems that the majority of those are from China. We don't know the percentage of it, but for sure, I would say the vast majority, right? Like, maybe 8 million of those, right? Like, I don't really know how strong it's doing it elsewhere, although it had some buzz. There was even an article from Reuters about this game, talking about how the Chinese state media put its back behind this game. So like they really push that over there in ways that you don't normally see.
Yeah.
It's big, but what does it mean for? I mean, Western games probably not much. I mean, this is a Chinese company,
right?
Chinese game about Chinese mythology. So.
Right. How do you guys feel about this over in Europe there, Fubu and Leah?
Look, I need to open my heart here. I need you guys to listen to me a little bit.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Jesus.
No, listen.
Shall I get the hand ready?
Get ready, Burley.
It's fine. It's a sweet story, I promise. He told me.
Go for it.
Go.
My girlfriend's really mad at me. And I need people to listen to me. My girlfriend's really mad at me because one of these days she calls me and she goes like, "Did you buy the monkey game?" I know what she meant, the monkey game. Like, no, I was asleep. No, I pre-ordered the EAFC. You fucking idiot. That's what she said. And I had to get the game. and I had to get the game. I sent you the video of her playing. And like I said before we started the show, she's been playing. And this is important. Okay, this is a funny story, but it is important to say this. My girlfriend is not a gamer. It's not a gamer like we are gamers. And she knows about this game. She's interested about this game. That's how impactful this game is, especially to the non-gamer. We were expecting, all of us were expecting from the video, like the trailer 6 years ago, we're like, whoa, this is going to look good. As we were expecting, but the way that, I don't know if it was because of TikTok, I don't know, but the way they marketed this game, it really attracted non-gamers to the point that my girlfriend, she wanted to buy. And actually, I already spent money on the EAFC, but I have some coins from the PlayStation stars. So I changed that for store credit and I bought the game almost for free. And I've been playing, Wukong, Shardog, exactly, Wukong. And we've been playing the game. She's been playing more than me. It is a lot more like Souls-like than I was expecting, but I'm really enjoying because the combat is very fluid. The story is really nice, and I'm playing the game. The voice acting is in Chinese because I feel like being the original transmits more the feeling of the traditions. I think there's more passion with that.
Exactly. That's what I told Burley when he was playing the Judgment series. I mean, play it in Japanese and see what it's like. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So really enjoying and the cells. Sorry, just
does the lead character talk?
Yes, he does.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I really never seen anything of that in the game yet.
It's a monkey man. Of course he talks. Come on, Carl.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just don't know. It could be a silent protagonist. Who knows?
I know. No way.
Yeah, and
It's gonna deliver
regarding the
something really
sales,
cool.
And regarding the cells,
I'm picturing
obviously,
the English voice being like Goku's voice.
yeah, and the sales, it's really because it's a lot of heavy Chinese influence. Of course, the Chinese people will be very interested in the game, so it really explains the big number. But of course, the Western audience, like us here in Europe, we are surprised, especially non-gamers, how good that game is, how beautiful it is, how the story is, how everything is. It's very, very good, and I'm going to say it, probably Game of the Year contender.
You know, I think one of the reasons why it's doing so well is, like I mentioned last week, when I picked this game as my pick of the week, is because it to me, it feels very Dark Souls like, and you know how Dark Souls games are very, very popular throughout the world. So I mean, I'm not too surprised at this number. I mean, but it's for me. It's because this game is very, you know, when it comes to the boss battles and all, very Dark Souls like. So, but anyway,
I'll tell you what, it's definitely going to win. Player's choice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, China's going to just crush those votes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of another news story on the opposite side of the spectrum, Concord. I mean, the news about this game, 8 years in development. 8 years in development, and most likely this game is not going to do very well. Your guys' thoughts on Concord. And how could a game like this be in development for like 8 years? I mean, that's just, it's mind-boggling to think of how long it took them to make this. But, yeah, I don't know. Burley, what... it looks like it's going to be another one of those, free to plays. It's there's so many games out there like it that are just, it's, the player base is probably going to shrink drastically after the first week. What do you think?
Oh yeah, well, you hear nothing on the game, and the game has come out. Like, you hear nothing on this game, and you know what that means. When you hear nothing, you know it's not good. It's not like 50 people bought it, but those 50 people are so vocal and be like, you got to try the game, you got to try the game, you got to get it, and slowly spreading the word. I see and hear very next to nothing on it. 8 years on this because they're chasing this. Remember, this was the whole Sony wanted to go into this market. Now they're changing their market strategy. They won't have so many kind of games like this. The only way that I can see this game getting kind of saved is you put this on PS Plus. You put this on PS Plus, give this to everyone, and you just slowly get the word of mouth and people buying, because I'm sure there are microtransactions in the shop for cosmetics and crap, and people like, oh, I didn't pay for the game, but I want my gun to be blue. I want this cutscene of rip-off Guardians of the Galaxy. The thing.
Right.
It needs to be good for that to happen. And I knew this game was dead on arrival. As soon as I saw the trailer they were announcing, I knew it was dead on arrival, because it is a market that's already so saturated. Yes, Chardog is right. Battle Pass. But again, the people buy the Battle Pass, they need to enjoy the game. It can be a great game. I'm not going to put saying it's a bad game. I haven't tried it out. Could be a bad game. Could be a good game. We'll see what saves the game. But this is the perfect example, and like you were saying, Expat, it's like the opposite. People are showing what they want. They don't want a live service game. They want a solo story game. Good, not bad. Obviously, we all want good games. We want something that's not live service. You do the game, you replay the game, you speedrun, you do whatever you want, and you move on to the next game. Don't force us to spend all of our life and all of our money in just one game. That's Fortnite and World of Warcraft. That's enough. We don't need more like that.
This is an expectations thing, I mean, it's like Anthem, Avengers, Suicide Squad. All those games were made by developers that and big publishers, right? That you expect AAA quality, and you expect a single player game, essentially, right? there was a style that people wanted from that.
Yeah.
And this is Firewalk, which was unknown, but Sony bought them, and Sony, you expect AAA third person action adventure, and it's obviously not that. And I kind of do wonder if Sony sort of, when they bought it, put more behind it and had them put more polish into it, more AAA sort of nature to it. Because I could see a situation where Firewalk on their own is just like, yeah, we're going to put out like this sort of free to play thing that doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and then we'll build that as we go, as traditionally you do with a free to play game, right? And it sounds like the game has like technical chops and gameplay that people like. It's just the rest of it, the expectations, what people expect to pay for something like this, is just not there. You want to know something really dire, by the way? I'll tell you some stats right now. Okay, you can go to the Steam charts, the Steam database. Okay, here's something that you're gonna laugh at. Okay, Concord players right now 455.
Wow.
Skull and Bones, which I'll tell you, was just added to Steam 2 days ago. It was only at Epic. It hasn't been on Steam. 1,795 players right now.
Yeah.
Those numbers are not good.
Yeah.
I know Captain Obvious here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead, and because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially with Gamescom, which is still going on. It's in its final days now, but a lot of news from Gamescom, and especially in the beginning, let's talk about the opening night live. Kind of a recap of opening night live, and talk about the games that we saw at opening night live that you would put on a checklist of games between now and the holiday season that you are really going to try to play. So, I mean, on my checklist, obviously. And some of these we did not see at opening night live, but of course, we got Star Wars Outlaws. That's obviously coming. Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's a big one that's coming as well. Metaphor Refantasio. I definitely am going to be playing that as well. And then, of course, to top it all off, Indy Jones, and we're going to be talking about Indy Jones later on. But those are my big games for the remainder of this year to be playing. That is my checklist. But opening night live, I mean, we got the Borderlands 4 reveal. I mean, that was a given. We knew that was most likely coming, especially with the Borderlands movie, out now and all. So to throw the teaser out there for Borderlands 4, that was something. Call of Duty. Did we really need to see more of Call of Duty
No.
in this show? I don't think so. I mean, I've seen enough of that anyway. And to have it in opening night live, I just think that was, really, it didn't need to be there. But a lot of stuff. So I'd like to get your guys' thoughts and what your checklist is of the games that you saw at opening night live that you are really excited for. So let's start with Leah. Leah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm first.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, I think like my biggest surprise, Reanimal, from the creators of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Like, this is the spiritual successor of Little Nightmares. I mean, it's amazing. It's creepy. It sounds so dangerous. I'm so excited because, Little Nightmares 2 and 3 is kind of, I'm so excited for Little Nightmares 3. But I don't know. It's just the story got a bit lost on the second game. And this one, I feel like it really captures the essence of the first one. Because they're really good at doing storytelling without any words. The imagery, the way they put the camera, the way the story progresses is everything. You kind of have to pick it by the clues. So I was really, really excited to see this game. I think this has to be like chef's kiss. Like that tip was so creepy. Like it seemed like,
Yeah.
yes, this is it. This is like we're going back to the origins of Little Nightmares, which was,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time. So
Yeah.
I'm super, super, super excited for this one. The other one is Civilization 7 for
Okay.
me. Finally, it was about time. We needed like the next installment of the series. I'm really excited that Gwendolyn is the voice actor. We had Sean Bean fighting Civilization 5. So basically, Brienne de Tart is the narrator for this game. And she does a great job. And I really want to see if they implement the seasons and storms and all those like mechanics they did in the previous games into this one. I'm kind of curious on how they're going to do all of that. And they also say it's the most like user friendly civilization, which sounds suspicious, but I'm curious to see how they're going to pull that off. And last one is just a really cute game, which is Floatopia, which is kind of an Animal Crossing game on like air islands. Like the world is ending, there's an apocalypse, and it's like, okay, let's build a new world floating around in the islands. It just sounds really cute. Just on the trailer. And it seems to have a lot of things, so it's just like a cute little game. So my picks are cute, strategic, really creepy. That's my list. You go ahead.
Well, I'll go ahead and show the trailer for Floatopia here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so here
It
is.
seems really funny. So like you have these really cute characters, and you see like the world is ending, and you have this like it's like, oh, the world is ending. Like, let's hope so, because I don't want to work tomorrow. Like I don't want to have work to do, which is this girl. And then we have cute little islands, and it seems like just like Animal Crossing, you can build your space. There's farming, there's fishing, and it seems really fun. And I feel it's like the perfect pick me up until like the next Animal Crossing comes around.
Nice.
Carl, you're not gonna like this one, but you know, maybe Civilization is for all people.
That looks cute. I mean, and maybe it's better than Animal Crossing. You know.
Oh, the heresy!
I'm on Carl's side, man. I'm on Carl's side.
You guys.
What do you mean it's better than Animal Crossing? You guys are insane.
Well, they said it could be better. They haven't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows till it comes out?
So you can play with friends, you can change weather, and it seems like something really
Superpowers?
cool. Like,
I
yeah,
mean, superpowers. I mean, God, okay, that's a huge advantage over Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
yeah, watering all your crops at once. Even Stardew Valley players are jealous. Let's be honest. That takes forever.
So shout out to Eurogamer where I'm showing these trailers from. So yeah, so good stuff. Yeah, Civilization, man. I mean, yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And then the other one, what is it? Our History Untold. I mean, that looks pretty interesting as
cool.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, let's go around. Carl, you're next. So what game stood out to you at opening night live, and what is on the games that are on your checklist? Yes.
Okay. Well, so like I would say nothing like announced new here was like really big for me. Although I think the show was actually a strong one. There was a lot of good stuff here. You know, whether it's announcements or that some of the people might love, or looks at games that, you know, we're getting to see more of, like that needed to, like Indiana Jones, for example. Obviously, like I think that looks really cool. We finally got to see a good bit more. You know, it's just like what's on here that I'm gonna play, you know, soon or this year or in the future. I mean, you know, Persona 3 Reload DLC. I mean, like I'm excited for that. The more I see of it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I just want to go back. You know, I just want to play more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right. let's do that. And then like that Lost Records, Blooming Rage looks really cool. Though I probably won't play it, but like actually my wife was sort of watching a little bit, and she saw that and she thought that was cool. Even though she's not a gamer.
Very Life is Strange, like
Oh yeah, that game looked awesome as well. That's pretty
there's a game
cool.
called INDY, which I think may have been in the pre-show. It's like a Sims-like game by Crafton.
Oh yeah, Inzo.
Yeah, that was in the pre-show.
Yeah. And again, that's something that my wife was like, oh yeah, like because the other one, Life by You, got canceled, and she wants a new Sims game, and she was excited to see something finally showing up. And this one has like, they're like, okay, the character creator is out now, you can go play with that. So like, all right, I guess this game's far along.
Yeah,
it's the first I've heard of it. I don't know where else it was shown or announced.
I'm showing Lost Records here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah.
My wife wanted to note though. She said, if you're going to go on the show, you're going to talk about the game. Just tell people the name sucks, and otherwise it looks cool.
Okay.
It is a weird name, gotta say. INDY, like
I mean, if all the game has is a terrible name, I think it's winning.
Yeah, I think it's fine. And honestly, like the Zoe is the name of like the Sims. So like instead of your characters are Zoes, and I'm like, that sounds fine. I don't think that's bad.
I can see why she's excited, because people have been complaining that like Sims 4 has been boring, like it lost its soul since it became like free to play and all the DLCs.
Sims 4 is a good game, right? But it mostly feels like a Sims 2 like remaster. Like it doesn't feel
Sims 2 was way better. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What I mean is like it just seems like it's not more advanced, right? Other than like technical level, like things just work better. But it doesn't feel like a newer modern game,
right? Like it feels like it has no soul. And someone did the math, and for you to have all the DLCs, you had to spend like $1,000 or something like that.
1,000? You're on the low end. It's like it's like 2,000 over 2,000.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't mention Genshin Impact and it coming to Xbox.
I was gonna get to that.
Yeah, because that was pretty big. So
all three HoYoverse games got shown here, and Genshin coming to Xbox is kind of a big deal, and I have not played that one, so I will make it my business to try that on Xbox. Space Marine 2 is a big game that's coming soon. We saw that there.
Yep.
What else? Monster Hunter Wilds, of course, is a huge game. Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, right? So it's cool that we're getting a new Fatal Fury, like straight, Fatal Fury fighting game. And they showed off my Shiranui coming back, which is significant because like the modern timeline of Fatal Fury, which like went more into the future, where most of the main characters weren't in the game anymore.
Yeah.
So bringing back a couple is kind of nice. I mean, we don't know who else. What else was there? Oh, Starfield Shattered Space, of course, looks cool, and they showed off the Rev 8.
The Rev,
which I think looks awesome, and I definitely want to get around to trying.
It's got all the weapons on it, and everything.
It looks like a blast. Like, they should have had that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals.
Agreed on that.
Rivals.
Marvel Rivals showing off Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And honestly, that game looks like a really awesome hero shooter. So,
I
mean, I'm not even into those games, but I'm like, I love Marvel, and the characters' abilities look so much fun.
Yeah.
And if it's free to play, you can give it a shot. I think it's going to be free to play at least.
Yeah, exactly. Towerborn, a little bit you saw there with the very unfortunate news, I would say. Well, I guess we'll talk about that later. We have an Xbox section there. Yeah.
Well, if you want to mention it now, because I mean, going through all these different games, I mean, So
just that, like, it's in my opinion, the way I view this, it's delayed till 2025, right? Because for Xbox at least, and it's only early access on PC, Steam, right now. Which I understand the idea. Like, Steam is the better place to get a wider audience to test a game like this, right?
Yeah.
Get better feedback. I get it.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating and disappointing. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to you, Fubu. So
sorry.
you're
Can I just say one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Unknown 9 Awakening, like we've seen this a bunch of times. And I just think it looks cool. Like I know it's one of those games that's sort of like, what was the one with the the guy and the girl, and the girl dies and she's like a ghost, and you have like solving these like mysteries or something.
I know what game you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
I forget the name. It's sort of in that level where like it looks kind of AAA, but it's definitely more actually AA. But they're like really trying to make the effort to make it like AAA, and sort of like you kind of worry that they're not really going to stick that landing.
Are you talking about Unknown 9 Awakening?
Oh, I think that game is one of these games. Yeah,
oh,
that's
okay.
the other one I'm mentioning that's already out. But like Unknown 9 Awakening looks like that. Like it looks like it could be a really awesome sort of third-person action adventure AAA game, but also it's probably not really that high.
And with the Witcher's Anna Shalatra.
Yeah, exactly. So like I like what they're doing with the gameplay. Almost look cool. I hope that one turns out well.
Yeah. Okay, Fubu, moving on to you. So your checklist.
Hey, the thing that impressed me the most, it's not really a game, but it's game related. It's the Amazon Secret Level series trailer.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes.
From the creators of Love, Death, and Robots, one of them being Sean Levy, the guy that did Deadpool and Wolverine. Don't forget to listen to me and Burley's review about that. It was a really fun one to do.
You can listen to that on Spotify. Yes.
Yeah, on Spotify. Thank you. Yeah. I love the concept because I love Death and Robots. I like because they do. To give a quick explanation, it's that each episode they're not related. They have a different type of animation, and I'm hoping they do the same thing with this one because we already seen Sifu's going to be in it. They can do it a more anime styled animation. Not John Wick. Keanu Reeves is going to do in a Warhammer episode. There's an episode where Kratos is in it, and he's like surrounded by modern buildings. So there's a story behind it. I'm really, 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 really interested in this one. I really loved it. I think Borderlands, they shot themselves in the foot. I think they were expecting that the movie was going to be a hit, and they released the trailer now, and they thought it was going to snowball to something big. So that was not a good time for the trailer. Persona 3 Reloaded DLC, they're going to have Joker from Persona 5. They're milking Persona 5 so much, but it's going to be really, really fun. And Goat Simulator Remaster. Like the Goat Simulator games are so funny. They're so funny.
That was the most unexpected one.
It is. That, and this is a critique because everything nowadays is like remastered, so they're doing the remasters like a critique. I really like that, and that's my list. There's other things that stood out, of course, but these were my favorite ones.
Yeah, I'm showing from the secret levels here. I mean, it's I can't wait to do recap and reviews of these episodes.
Lots of these
secret level.
Interesting stuff. I like Mega Man. I'm like awesome. I mean, because nothing gets done with Mega Man anymore for some reason, but glad to see that.
Sadly, Capcom just doesn't love the Blue Bomber.
It's a Dungeons and Dragons one, which that's awesome because I love Dungeons and Dragons. True. The Outer Worlds. I was like, that's
Dragon's
cool.
Dogma. They seem like Dragon's Dogma.
It was Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's a weird, like, all right, Concord. Like, what did they pay to get that?
And then 50 cents.
And the same with Crossfire. I'm like, why is Crossfire? Like, what the? And there's a few I didn't recognize, but like, all right, Crossfire, come on now.
And then we had the animated Jeff Keighley running around and stuff like that. I mean,
that game, right? That game one. Yeah, that was a game. It was one of those, I'm just using Fall Guys for example. It's a Fall Guys like type of game. It just like I've seen that in the Jeff Keighley animated thing. That to me, it's like this is my get up to go have a bathroom or get up to go get a beer break.
Right. Yeah. All right, Burley, let's move on to you. What's on your checklist from what we saw at
a lot of them have already been said, like the Persona 3 Reload DLC. I've been working my way through Persona 3 Reload, so that DLC, and that was kind of neat having the Joker and the Never See It Coming theme. Such a great song from 5. That was neat. But for one that hasn't gotten mentioned is Path of Exile 2. That is one I've been really interested in to try, but I've heard those games like you need to You need to really pay attention to what you're doing and stuff. You need to look up builds all the time online before you put your points in. So it's like, I'm interested to try it and see it and see how bad is it if you don't spend your time and spend 10 hours planning your character, just sitting trying stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird also because they had Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred there, and like Diablo 4 is, big.
Well,
right now.
Yeah, well, Diablo 4, the seasons, the new, because we just got the newest season.
Yeah.
The Vessel of Hatred, it has me interested, and like, hey, two classes. But for here in Canada, the base game of Diablo 4 goes for $89. The DLC they are charging you is $66 before tax. That's for the DLC.
That's wild. But what is like
What the
American plays? How much is this?
It's like 49 something American, I think.
Oh my god! It's just like
it's absolutely ludicrous. Like I remember, like if you wanted Diablo 2, like the expansion Lords of Destruction, it was like $20-$30 back in the day. After they didn't go too crazy, and it was giving you like a whole new act. Like I'm interested to see how much content we are getting with Vessel of Hatred. I'm just waiting on it. Like I want to play it and see where they go, but I'm not spending that kind of money.
Right.
Blizzard.
So this is like a full
Yeah.
like story expansion, I guess.
Yeah, but who knows how much story?
Okay, it's
You're
40
getting-
for 40 for the standard edition,
And 50 for the dogs.
Yeah.
60, and then 90.
So
apparently.
here I'm showing the Path of Exile too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, this
okay.
just looks so good. Yeah, this is it's a Diablo like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just all the craziness, and just this looks like this can be a ton of fun if you can get a couple buddies, sit in Discord, and just play together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
And those are free to play, right? Path of Exile.
Yeah, the one was at least. I
Yeah,
remember
pretty sure.
playing one. on PlayStation.
I'm pretty sure as well. Been a while since I've looked.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think at the end of the show? We got the reveal of the new Mafia game. So, so the old country. So we're gonna be playing in Sicily in this game. So, what did you think of the reveal of Mafia? I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
I've never played a Mafia game, but I
Right.
like that idea that it's like old world. That's neat. I'll keep an eye on that. That's a big announcement. Like I like that.
Yeah.
The showcase had like at least bookended with like Borderlands 4 and Mafia. New Mafia game. Those are big announcements.
Yeah. 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 Okay, let's.
I liked.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna. I liked it. I don't want them to fall on the same mistake that if they do it as an open world, because I loved playing Mafia 1. I played 1, 2, and 3. I played all of them.
Yeah.
And the first one had a big issue with the vehicle. It felt the city was too big for the speed that the vehicle went. At least at the time, because I played the first version of the game on PC and not the remasters, and the game felt really slow. If you're going the old country, you're going to Sicily. I'm assuming that the technology it's going to be even worse. They need to make it an open world, because if they do it as an open world in Italy is a beautiful country, and Sicily especially is beautiful, and they need to make the traversal interesting and fast. They need to do that. That's going to be an open world problem. If they manage to make a good open world, it's going to solve half of their problem.
I think it's going to be semi-open world, actually.
Semi?
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that big.
Could be.
I mean,
Could
yeah,
be.
we'll see. But
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Indy Jones. I mean, so Xbox's Uncharted. So let's take a look at it. And
I don't know if it's Uncharted like at all. Only Uncharted is based on Indiana Jones.
I'll just throw the first stone because crucify me, I guess. Why is this first person view? why bring
The
Harrison
developer, yeah.
Ford
Yeah.
and then make it like a VR sort of? I thought like it was gonna be like Uncharted, where you see the character move. Like, what is it to be easier to port to VR?
They're not going to do VR on this.
No,
Okay,
It's
so
just-
surprising. Troy
it's just
is
the
doing
studio.
Indiana
Troy
Jones.
Baker,
That was
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
but his voice is, I mean, it's more like Harrison Ford's voice.
Yeah, Machine Games
Yeah.
made the Wolfenstein games. They make first-person shooter games, or first-person games in general, and so
Right.
that's why
Right.
I think they stuck with it. Was it the right choice? I don't really know. I wouldn't. Again, I've never preferred it, although I think what they're doing does look interesting. It's just a matter of if it's good.
It's just.
I
It's
think you
confusing to me.
can switch between first and third person, I think. in this
No,
game.
no, you
Oh,
can
okay.
only it only goes third
Certain
person
segments.
when you
Yeah.
do certain things, like
Okay.
whip swinging or like
Okay, yeah,
some
yeah,
of the action moments.
So there are elements of third
Like
person
there,
in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
see, for
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's
I
it's
don't.
going to be not. It's not really a full shooter, right? Like you have guns, but you're going to be punching. You're going to be using the
But-
whip. You're going to be solving puzzles. You're going to be
Yeah, but like that's
exploring.
confusing for my brain. Like it takes me out of the game when I'm first person. Okay, that's fine. But then to be turned around to third person, then go back to first person, it just, I don't know, breaks the immersion for me a bit.
I think they should have done a Resident Evil 8 thing, where the game came out as a
But-
first person.
But
And
here
then
we
they
go.
released
Here we go.
something
I
as a
mean,
DLC.
solving puzzles and stuff. This is very Uncharted, Carl.
Yeah, I suppose there
In
is
that way,
in
I mean,
Uncharted.
yeah,
But-
so-
Which again is based on. Yeah, but like it's not like there's a little bit
Yeah.
of climbing, right? But it's not like a action adventure. Well, it is some of it. I don't know. It's just not very like the third person sort of. You're shooting people all over the place. You're going through these wild action set pieces. There's going to be some of that in here, but they're not going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be very linear. Whereas like in Uncharted, it didn't feel as linear. Like there was a lot of like, all right, I got to climb this or survive this thing, and there's a lot of ways you can go about sort of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying that because that was thrown out there on the internet and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that. So,
look,
yeah,
I get it for sure.
Yeah.
I just think
So
if anybody thinks
Okay.
that this is going to play in any way like Uncharted, you'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
Very-
So
Very.
December 9th. What do you guys think of the release date on this? And then obviously the big story. Well, some people probably expected this, but Indiana Jones will be coming to PlayStation in the spring. So just a release window. They didn't give a specific date, but first let's talk about the release date for December 9th. What do you think of that? And right before Christmas. So I mean, I think that's perfect. You got all the Call of Duty people that are going to be playing Call of Duty at the end of August or October. I'm sorry, and I mean, Avowed. We still don't know the release date on that. I think it's in 2025. So, but December. I think that's perfect. Yeah. What do you guys think, Burley?
Well, for me, I can't play that when it comes out because literally that day it comes out, I'm flying to LA. So
Yeah.
So no, Burley ain't doing the extra take on Indiana Jones. Someone else will have to do that.
Carl,
one.
Yeah.
Carl.
I think Carl.
Yeah,
no.
Carl should do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl's like, what hits me?
What am I doing?
Carl, you have been nominated and
Have been chosen.
Recruited. You've been
Recruited.
yes,
I have
recruited.
to play this whole game on the night of.
exactly and get the footage that day.
That's right.
Expat and ready.
And edit and
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to figure out. So the Game Awards is actually December 12th.
Yeah.
And this game comes out
The
the
9th,
9th.
yeah.
And I think there's also a 3-day early access. So technically, everyone will be able to play it
On the 6th, yeah.
6th.
Yeah.
And then
If you buy the collector's edition and stuff like that.
Right.
We'll
And
put it
then
on-
you got to think. I wonder what the cutoff date's gonna be for the Game Awards, and like if this can possibly like if the review codes go out like even earlier, like 2 weeks ahead of that, maybe. I kind of wonder. But either way, obviously the Game Awards doesn't make or break anything. I think December's fine. I wonder about this game in general. You know, like they're putting it on PS5. I just kind of wonder, is that because they feel they need to get it out to more places just because maybe they're not as confident as you know, because if you thought it was like gonna really sell your system, right, and it's an incredible game, then why wouldn't you want to keep that as exclusive? I don't really understand this whole strategy because
licensing fees.
well,
They need
licensing
money.
fees, sure, but like, is it really that high for Indiana Jones? I mean, you know,
Disney needs a win. Disney needs a win right now. Their films, other than Deadpool and Wolverine, have tanked. That last Indiana Jones cost them
are you
hundreds of.
forgetting Inside Out 2?
Yeah, those two I don't think have made up all the bad thing.
Are you sure?
Disney's, they've
It's a
helped.
$1 billion film. They got $2 billion films.
Film. Yeah, but like
And I
Indiana
thought my guess
Jones
was
lost
bad.
them like 800 million. So
That's already covered, man. It's already covered.
Okay, so we got the news about the release date. Then we got, of course, at the end there that Keeley threw up. Of course, he would do this. PlayStation coming to PlayStation in the spring. So, and of course, Phil Spencer. He had a talk and he explained the decision to launch Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5. So during his Microsoft Gamescom 2024 live stream, he talked about this and he says, quote, "Our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been." End quote. And then he also says, quote, "So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been," end quote. And then he talks about the business side, quote, "And we run a business. It's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery we have to give back to the company because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing and what we're able to go do. So I look at this, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow on console, on PC, and on cloud. It's just going to be a strategy that works for us," end quote. So the thing is, the thing that I have about this is, and we're going to talk about the new SKUs of the consoles that they're going to be coming out with as well, but you put this game, Indiana Jones, you put it on PlayStation. Yeah, you're going to make a ton of money off of a game, but it's going to make, and it's going to be on Game Pass. So yeah, Xbox players are going to be playing on Game Pass and all, PC. But just becoming like a third-party developer in a sense, it's just. I just don't understand that. They're bringing out these new SKUs of consoles, and I mean, how are they going to sell these consoles? Because Indiana Jones is now going to be on PlayStation come March, or April, or spring, and you're going to have a ton of players playing it on PlayStation, and those players are not going to buy an Xbox console. They're going to make a ton of money off of this game, yes. And, Microsoft is, thinking about that. But I think they're shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to the console side and the hardware. They're just not going to sell the hardware now. Because if the majority of these big AAA games now are going to start going third party and going to other platforms, why buy an Xbox now? It's like you don't really need one. That's just my thought. Carl, I'll throw it to you. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, the arguments for why you should buy an Xbox are becoming, less and less at this point. I mean, when you do something like that, Indiana Jones will never be associated with Xbox anymore at this point, right? This game will not be looked at as like, oh, that's an Xbox game. Oh, okay. Like, even if it's great, like, you're not going to get that boost of like, oh, they made this awesome, great quality game, because if you have a PS5 and you don't have an Xbox, or like you're a primary PlayStation person and generally you just you only want to play what's like really only on Xbox. If you got that as a secondary, you're not going to play it on Xbox. You're just going to wait and you're going to play it on PlayStation 5, right?
Yep.
And 0 people are going to buy an Xbox for Indiana Jones if they already have a PlayStation, right? And maybe that would have been like a few before, right? And maybe that's the math that like it's just not enough and they don't care. And I have to say, I assume that he's not wrong. Like, the business makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But are you ever going to just, rip the Band-Aid off and just tell us the strategy? Like, it's really getting tiring. Just look, can you just say like, all right, Xbox Game Studios games always exclusive, never coming to PlayStation. Okay. Yeah. Bethesda games timed exclusive, 6 months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard games, multi-platform day one. Like, if that's what you want to do it. Tell me right away up front. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of all this nonsense. Like, the answers that Phil Spencer is giving is just like corporate speak, and like, I feel like he's like trying so hard to like, I can't say this or that, and I'm trying to say something like positive, but like he just can't come up with something that, like,
it just feels like he's getting orders directly from the top at Microsoft telling him, okay, this is what you say. That's how it feels.
It's starting to feel like he didn't make these choices, or at least he was maybe told like, you got to do some of this, right? And this is just, certain games were chosen. This one makes sense because of the IP, the licensing, sure. But again, you're losing something that would have been associated with Xbox and the quality that Xbox or Microsoft first party studios might bring.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's just the strategy change, right? They fired, a lot of people. Tango Studio was let go. Like, the strategy changed somewhat around that period, but like the consoles were set in stone. Like, maybe it was a previous like strategy that they had, and the consoles are ready. They're produced. Like, you kind of have to launch them now. Even I feel it if the strategy of Xbox has changed. So that's what makes more sense to me in this regard. It's like they were really going for these consoles and trying to do it, and Indiana Jones was exclusive and all of that, and then someone around, like, new people come in, things change. Like, no, we're now wanting to be like a third party creator of games, and these games that were exclusive are going to other consoles, but like, these consoles are ready to ship themselves, so they I think they're doing damage control at this point. It's like, we have them, we're gonna sell them. Like, they're gonna put Indiana Jones as like the holiday game to see if like as a pack it kind of goes and sells, but it kind of feels like a ditch effort to me. Like, it's done, now we're gonna ring it around.
Yeah, I just want to go back to you, Carl, when you talked about, okay, just be more direct about, okay, like Activision Blizzard games, multi-platform day one, stuff like that. Just, I think it's at the point where just be direct and say everything that comes out now is going to be multi-platform. Because that's ultimately what it's probably going to be. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen though, because I still think there are games that they won't put on PlayStation 5, or at least not for a while. I mean,
timed
like, they haven't
exclusives,
announced Starfield yet, which, like, look, by what Phil Spencer said, there's no reason not to do that anymore, right? Like, the arguments he's making make sense for pretty much every game, but like Starfield, why isn't that on PS5 now? Like, that's what I would be asking him when he said that. I'd be like, what's your argument there? It doesn't make any sense. But I was when you made me think of like the movie theater thing, where like these games will start to feel like, all right, like if I really want it up front, like it's like I'll go to the movie theater and I'll see the movie, or I know I can just wait and watch it on streaming like in a few months. That's like sort of how it's going to feel. Like I could play it on Xbox and pay right away, or I could wait and play it somewhere else later when it comes to me where I am.
Yep.
As far as these consoles go, though, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with new hardware. Like, again,
I mean, the black one is beautiful.
Yeah, as Phil Spencer said, and obviously he's not lying about like the data, because this is something like we talk to shareholders about. Is that
it's a service? It's a service.
Right? But there's more console players than ever, right? Than they've had as far as like Xbox, right? On Xbox platform, console, and the revenue is higher too. So like people are playing it. It's like the casual average person doesn't really care about all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you look at what happened with the NCAA football game, and how that was current gen only, and that pushed a lot of people to buy games, and that's a U.S. market thing, and Xbox is a big U.S. market thing. Like, they are probably pretty close to 50-50 than PlayStation in the U.S. I think it's a bit less now, but it's fairly close here in the U.S.
Yeah, their battleground now is Europe, I think. Yeah.
So, I mean, they just don't have a real foothold there. It's very few places, but the U.S. market's the biggest market, right? So outside of China, obviously.
Yeah, before we go on, I just want to mention, this is from over at Game Rant, some of the information about these consoles that we're showing here. So we're getting the Xbox Series S with a 1 terabyte SSD, an Xbox Series X 1 terabyte digital edition, and a Galaxy Black Special Edition Xbox Series X with a 2 terabyte SSD. So the incoming Xbox consoles will all arrive ahead of the busy holiday season. According to Xbox, the incoming Xbox Series S and all digital Xbox Series X consoles will include a robot white console and controller and 1 terabyte SSD. The Xbox Series S will have a starting price of $349.99 US dollars, and the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte digital edition will cost $100 more, starting at $449. However, Xbox players looking for the most built-in storage of any console on the market will have the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition to consider. The unit will have a $599 price tag, but will include a special constellation effect on both the console and the controller. Of the 3 upcoming consoles, the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X is the only one with a disk drive. So that's the information we have on the 3 consoles. So let's move to our PlayStation-centric parts of the show. Go ahead, Carl.
I don't like the 350 Series S. Like, I get why it's higher because the storage is expensive, but when it's come 350 versus 450 for the digital, because they're both all digital Series X. I mean, I would never buy that Series S. I'd just spend the extra 100 and get the X. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if they're still selling the $300 one, that's a good value, even though the storage space is small. But like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't get it. Maybe it's other markets. The price is a bigger difference. I would have just cut the loss and like made it for the 300 for the Series S still.
Okay, let's move to Fubu87. Let's move to you and get your thoughts on Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation, the situation with that, as well as other, games going to PlayStation and to other platforms from Microsoft, as well as these console SKUs.
Well, I remember when this game was announced, it was around the same time that there were rumors that some games were going to PlayStation. And I think on the podcast, one of those podcasts, I said, I'm pretty sure maybe this game will go to PlayStation. It's like I was predicting the future. When it comes to what I'm thinking about this is this. They were expecting that Indiana Jones, which has a big reach, has a big audience, especially for the more mature audience, which are the ones that have the money, like us. We remember as young people watching Indiana Jones, so it brings our nostalgia factor to us, and we want to buy the game. They were probably expecting that this game would be a system seller. And I'm thinking that they realized the game is not as good as they expected, or it's not what the market would want. So they are allowing to this go to PlayStation. a few months later. It's going to be a timed exclusive to Xbox, because they realize it might not be the system seller that they would like to have, that would make a lot of money, that would sell a lot of consoles. They thought, we need to get money somewhere else. So again, PlayStation, let's make it time exclusive to us. Then goes to PlayStation. Maybe I think it would be something very interesting. Maybe they would release not a DLC, but maybe a patch where you are allowed to play the game full time on the third person. I think that would be something interesting, and you could change between first person and third person. I would love to see that. And I'm going with Leah on this, if they made the game third person, I would probably be more tempted to be Indiana Jones in third person than in first person, because me personally, I don't like first person games. It's confuses me. It doesn't respond to me. That's a me thing. So that's my thoughts about that. I think it's all about the money. They want to get as much money as they can. They don't think they will get it on the Xbox, so they're branching out to the PlayStation. And maybe it's like an olive branch, like, we're going to give you this new IP, and maybe when you get a new IP, you'll give it to us so that we can sell on our console.
Okay. Burley, your thoughts on all of this?
Well, as I said earlier, the licensing, that I have a feeling the licensing costs are very high on this. And so Microsoft was like looking and being realistic. Look at Starfield. It did not sell well on Xbox, and Game Pass, it did not move the needle they wanted it to. So they're like, we could take a bath on lose some money and the licensing costs, or you know what? We put it on PlayStation because, like you said, it's gonna sell on PlayStation. Like, this game will sell on Steam. It'll sell some units on Xbox, but it's really going to sell. Steam is it's probably its highest through the Microsoft Store. Going to be the highest sales. PlayStation, it has a chance to then make the money and make some profit. So they're in that. I agree with what Carl said earlier. I would like, just tell us the strategy. Be upfront and honest. Don't stop giving us the double talk and all this crap. It's just a waste of time. And like, Sony, at least when they're changing leadership, has said, yeah, we're changing things around. We're focusing on the Japanese market, this and that. I'm sure they're not completely honest with us on everything. I know that. You can never tell. These companies are never fully honest. But now it begs me the question for someone like me. Yeah, I play more on PlayStation than I do on Xbox, but I will do like Game Pass for stuff like this, like Indiana Jones and stuff. Okay, I'll buy a month of Game Pass, play this up. Okay, that's great. I cancel and wait till the next thing. Yeah. Or if there's a lot of stuff at Game Pass at that moment that I want to play right then and now, I will keep and continue paying for. Yeah. But these consoles, it's just, hey, we want to add extra storage and do these little things. We have these reskins and like they did it in the Xbox One generation. PlayStation did it with PS4. These happen. It's just like, okay, this is for if you waited. Yeah, like having the 2 terabyte is nice because, like in the Xbox case, one of the things was because they went with the whole proprietary memory cards and not doing just an M2 SSD like PlayStation did. You had to buy a proprietary cards, and those things were expensive. Now they've let another company make those cards, so you have some competition to get the price down.
Right. Yeah, I'll say this now, and I'm going to say this into the future too, that I think we're only going to have one more console generation. And I think Microsoft is setting themselves up to completely go digital, and when it comes to multi-platform services. I think this is just the beginning. Right now, it's going to just balance itself out because they're going to lose a lot of money in producing these consoles and not have the huge sales numbers that, say, like Nintendo or PlayStation has when it comes to consoles. But they're gonna recoup that money when it comes to the revenue they're gonna make off of selling these games on other platforms. So I think they're just setting themselves up for the ultimate time in the near future, probably in the next 7 to 10 years, that we're going to have maybe one more SKU of a console generation, and I think PlayStation's going to be thinking the same. Because they're already developing the PlayStation 6. There's a lot of people out there that are saying, "Oh, we might not get a PlayStation 6." They started developing the PlayStation 6 probably like months before the PlayStation 5 even came out. Just like the PlayStation 5 was being developed, just before the PlayStation 4 came out. But I think after that, I think we're done when it comes to the consoles. And I think it's just going to be digital. And PlayStation, they're already starting to think about a multi-platform strategy. They're very stubborn, but they started putting a lot of their AAA, not a lot, but some of their AAA games onto the PC platform. So I think that's going to change as well. Nintendo, the Switch 2. That's still coming, and that's going to be probably a 7 to 10 year, console hybrid, whatever it is. But after that, I think we shall see. But yeah, I think Microsoft, for the time being, revenue-wise, it's going to balance. It's going to balance out. These consoles are, like you were saying, Carl. The hardcore Xbox gamers, the people that play on console. This is for them. This is for them.
I mean, I don't see the console market disappearing until the revenue's not there, right? Because again, it's a business, right? And they're gonna want to keep making that revenue. Like if Microsoft didn't make Xbox consoles anymore, then there's no Xbox Store revenue, right? Because the Windows Store, which is effectively the same, or the Xbox Store on PC, doesn't make a lot, right? You're going to lose all of those third-party sales. You're going to lose all those microtransactions from people playing Fortnite on Xbox, right? And Minecraft, right? And Roblox, right? You're going to lose all of that. And I just don't see any of these companies doing that until that is just not financially viable anymore. Which, who knows? Maybe 10 years from now, it could be not viable. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I see Chardog. He wants these console wars to end. And you know what could end it? Okay, next gen Xbox. If that is like incredibly close to a PC, if not basically just a PC, and they have the Steam store on there, and Microsoft just starts putting pretty much all their games on PlayStation as well. I mean, that's kind of it, right? Like, what are you gonna fight over? Because PlayStation games will be on that Xbox, because if it has the Steam store, they'll get all those games, and PlayStation will get all the Xbox games because they're just going to put them on there. So like,
one more console generation.
That could be it.
One more console generation. I'm betting on it. I think.
For expat, the future is Nintendo. Nintendo will never quit.
The only one left.
Yeah, maybe.
The one and only.
And they're the ones that really have cared less about console wars for the past few years. They just do their own thing and they stay out of it. So yeah,
because they have that magic formula now of like, all right, we don't have to have cutting edge hardware anymore,
right?
We left that race back in like the Wii, right? Gen essentially was like, they're like, no, we're not going to bother with power anymore. And then since then they pivoted to just being the portable, right? So now obviously you can plug it into TV, but it essentially is a portable device. It is more the next 3DS to Switch than it is Wii U to Switch, right? Like, it's just a combination of all that software onto that one device now. And that's great because their development costs are much less than everybody else.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other stories from Gamescom, maybe some of the other standout stories. First, I just want to go through the roundup here, and this is from shout out to Pure Xbox. Some of the other live stream events, Xbox had the first live stream that they did. They talked about Forza Horizon 5, so hide and seek game mode that's coming in September 10th. They talked more about Vessel of Hatred over for Diablo 4. The adaptive joysticks they talked about as well. They gave an introductory trailer for the adaptive joysticks. So helping those that are in need when it comes to gaming. Revenge of the Savage Planet was also showed. The Fall, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Shattered Space they talked about as well. Let's Build a Dungeon. So Atomfall, we got extended gameplay of that. So on the second day of the Xbox live streams, we got more of the gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws. So they showed a deeper dive of that. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, we got that. Kill Knight, Redacted, Lonely Mountain Snow Riders, we got some of that. Little Nightmares 3. So
Yes.
so a lot of that. Eternal Strands gameplay, Void Train, so lots of and Flight Simulator, the game overview trailer for the November 19th section that's coming, and more of Towerborn on that. And finally, on the third live stream that Xbox did, we got more of a game overview of Indiana Jones, Metaphor Refantasio. We had an interview as well as a new trailer there. Squirrel with a Gun. Burley, I know you're really excited for that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's your highlight of the entire Gamescom, I'm sure.
I was gonna say that's like when that game comes out, that is game of the year. Squirrel and gun. It just you just know
in Burley's
those
mind.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Burley. What about Plucky Squire? You can't just throw it away like that.
Plucky Swire is indie game of the year, hands down. No.
Okay.
The Path of Exile 2. We got the overview trailer. We showed that a little bit earlier here on the podcast. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, developer Q&A. We got some of that. Commander's Origins, and more of a gameplay walkthrough of Avowed. So if any of you saw that, that was really cool. Aura History Untold had an interview as well as a gameplay walkthrough of that. Tales of Iron 2. So yeah, a lot of stuff from Xbox. These live streams that they've been doing during the week at Gamescom. But any other of the stories stand out to you guys from Gamescom? Burley, I'll start with you.
Oh, it was
Other than Squirrel with a Gun, yes.
I was gonna say nothing really to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Squirrel with a Gun, I was gonna say that was my main one.
To me, it was the make your own dungeon. It sounded really cool because it's a mix of like creating the dungeon, but it's also about the game development and like creating like a game studio that makes a successful game. So that's kind of cool. That's an interesting concept. I'll say open an eye for that. Let's see.
Fubu 87. Cool. Anything else? Yeah.
Sorry, the mic was off. Lost Skies. I did enjoy the game. I'm not usually the biggest survival game aficionado, but I did like this game because it's you can fly around. It's a survival game. You can fly around. It's co-op. It makes you feel very free. You're not bound walking the earth. You can fly around. You can explore. Gives me a lot of, to me at least, a Zelda vibe. The Tears of the Kingdom and the previous one. I'm forgetting now the name, but the first Zelda that came on the Switch. Breath of the Wild. Thank you very much. I'm bad with names. It gave me a feel like that. I did like that one. I still really enjoyed that one. So gonna keep my eye on that. Maybe me and Leah, we can team up and do something.
Yeah.
Carl, anything else from Gamescom that stood out?
I would say watch the Avowed gameplay and look at some hands-on previews for that, because they let people do like an hour of gameplay of that. Yeah,
I was watching that, and the battling the skeletons, that was pretty cool. Yeah, and like
I think the combat looks fantastic in that. Like it is like what I hoped for in one of these. Like if like Elder Scrolls had more robust combat, like that's what I want to see. You know, like enemies getting like stunned and pushed back and getting status effects, and like you have area effect attacks, and you can have multiple weapons. You can make your own. You can have a weapon and spells. You can have your allies, and you can command them to do special attacks, kind of like Outer Worlds sort of had that, and just like Mass Effect, right? You got the radial wheel where you can command them to do special attacks as well. It's like I think that game is going to be incredible.
Yeah,
and I'm super excited from everything I've seen because I know what Obsidian can do with the RPG elements. I think just the combat was the question, and I think that's looking amazing. So,
and it's probably coming out early 2025, I think, right? Yeah,
it has a release date. It's February,
right? Yeah,
15th or
it's somewhere the 10th.
And coming to PlayStation in the summer.
In fall, right? Yeah. See, like that's the one. Like, why not that one too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? Like, we have no idea.
Yeah.
You wait till 2026 and we'll know the answer, because if it isn't announced by early 2026, it's
I mean, will Starfield come like in 2025?
I think so. After all the DLC for Starfield, they'll make the Starfield Ultimate Edition.
I'll tell you right now, they're not giving you that DLC included. If they put on PS5 base game, you got to pay extra for DLC. That's what's going to happen.
I want to mention and welcome on in, Shardog. I want to mention something that they said in the comment section here, and it was brought out during the week of Gamescom, the news about Final Fantasy 16 coming to PC. So that'll be interesting as well, and to see how it runs on PC, it'd be really interesting. So, so good stuff.
I'm waiting for the mod where I can play as Cloud Strife on Final Fantasy 16. That's what I want.
Yeah,
that'll be their day 2.
Yeah.
Day 1 will be Zach.
Oh, it should be Zach because of the end of the game. That's right.
Yeah. Well, so Gamescom is wrapping up this weekend, and after that, of course, the next big event is Tokyo Game Show. Of course, has a special place in my heart out here in Japan. So we're looking forward to that out in September. And we've got some news that dropped this week about TGS. So Capcom, they announced their TGS 2024 lineup. So lineup and schedule. So on September 26th, they have their online events. So this is from over at Gematsu. So so their online program. And also demos that will be announced. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics, Monster Hunter Now, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Street Fighter 6. So, a lot of stuff from Capcom there. So, cool stuff. So, we got that news. And then Sony also revealed their preliminary Tokyo Game Show lineup, including Astrobot Burley and Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be huge at Tokyo Game Show. It's going to be huge because, that game is going to be that game is going to sell like gangbusters on the Switch out here. I mean, all the kids that love Monster Hunter out here in Japan, they're going to be all over this game. So so we got the preliminary schedule. So and it's the PlayStation booth will include 40 demo sections for Capcom's Monster Hunter Wilds. 40.
Because I know how popular that's going to be out there.
Yes, with 150 stations in total for the game present at TGS. So so we got that news so far, and we'll be as the weeks progress. As the weeks progress, we're going to be getting more news. Yes, Carl. Yes.
Monster Hunter Wilds is not coming to Switch.
It will be.
Switch 2.
Switch 2. That game is not running on Switch. I'll tell you right now.
Well,
they just came out that it's going to be 30 frames per second on PS5. So
Chardog was saying hoping that we hear about the Resident Evil game, and I agree.
Yeah, same.
Time to
I want
get the
something.
cat or the hat.
Yeah,
Come on,
that'd be great.
give us something.
Too big an
Anything.
announcement probably for TGS.
And
Game Awards. That's where
Game Awards.
you're gonna get the RE announcement. And not Tokyo Game Show. If it had already been announced, they already shown something. It would be shown at TGS. But it's nice to see Capcom have a variety of content and of a bunch of their different franchises.
And
Maybe.
And it was also announced yesterday that Kojima and Kojima Productions will be at Tokyo Game Show. So, and I'm sure he's going to be showing off Death Stranding too. I don't think we're going to get the Xbox game there, though.
OD'd.
OD. No, we're not going to get that. We'll get Death Stranding too. A lot of that. So, but TGS looking interesting. So. Yeah. See what Atlas has up in store. I would love to see a shadow drop of Persona 6 at TGS. I mean, that would be nice. But we'll see. And I'm still hoping to get out there. I don't know yet. We shall see. But I'm hoping to get out there. So yeah.
No. We're gonna get announced there. Judgment 3, Kaito's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Judgment 3 minus Kaito's Revenge in the title. Yes. Yeah.
Well, Sega said they have a new game that they're gonna announce.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Judgment 3 minus Kaito's Revenge, but Kaito will be in the game, obviously. So, yes. Yeah. All right. So let us know in the comments what were your biggest moments from Gamescom this year. The games that are on your checklist to play. As the year progresses, as we get into the second half, more into the second half of the year. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation. What do you think of that? What do you think of the 3 new SKUs for the Xbox consoles? Let us know what you thought of Gamescom in the comments section. So really looking forward to hearing from you on that. So now it's time to move on and talk about our picks of the week. So new game release picks of the week. So you can go to www.releases.com. So in the ticker below. So for the week of August 26th through September 1st. So yeah. So and you can see all the games that are releasing this week and beyond. www.releases.com. So first up is Fubu87. You are up first this week. What game do you have for us?
World of Warcraft, The War Within. Our heroes, Anduin and Troll, find themselves drawn together by a radiant vision emanating from within the heart of the world. Find out what comes next in the opening chapter of the World Salt Saga story arc with the newest expansion, World of Warcraft, The War Within. Comes out in 2 days, only on PC, hopefully one day on Xbox, because, that's all the same thing now.
And
maybe. No, we got Final Fantasy 14 for that, man. Be good. No, when it comes to this, the reason that I chose this game, it's a celebration, because World of Warcraft is the first big MMO. This is the first live service game, because I remember when the game progressed, you could get better gear to upgrade faster and stuff like that. You can buy mounts, you can do that. This is the first live service game, but it wasn't called that at the time. And I just want to celebrate because they have great storytelling, except Pandaria. I don't know why they did that DLC, but the story, the way they always manage to revamp the world, the classes, maintain the game interesting, and I'm choosing this one. I won't be playing because I don't have time to play World of Warcraft anymore, but I chose this as a celebration. I don't, it's true, I'm busy. I got EFC 25 to play. It's coming out next month. Next month, my, no, Burley, harder daddy, harder.
It's like, I'm picking this game, but I'm not going to play it.
I mean, look, we don't play most of the games this year.
No, but I'm being honest. I don't have to. I'm picking this one as a celebration because I know a lot of people will play, and yeah, that's why I'm choosing it. And I know it's going to be great, and the communities are going to have a lot of fun with the new raids, with the new dungeons, with new friendships that we'll make along the way. It's going to be a great time for everyone that's playing, and I really hope I can follow it from outside, but I can follow it and maybe can be interesting to the point that I might dip in for a month or two just to try it out and then bail out again.
Alrighty. Okay, so next up, Leah, take it away.
It's me. My pick of the week is Emio, the Smiling Man, the Famicom. So basically, all you really need to know about this game, it's in our game preview. That's in the Arena Productions channel. I did a little special.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in the programming notes. Yes.
But basically, you're an assistant, and there's this case of this body that show up, and it's similar to a string of murders that happened 18 years ago, and it's a visual novel style, and you're just in it for the story. Not very complex gameplay, just picking the selections that you need to do to move the story forward. And I think it's a really fun game. If you like detective stories, I think this is a really strong pick. August 28th on the Switch.
Nice. Yes. Won't you tell me your thoughts? Good stuff.
Yeah, that man is creepy.
I was actually telling Leah that she should have made like a Facebook.
Fubu, stop. Carl, you're next. Go.
All right, I picked Visions of Mana, and really just because like Star Wars Outlaws was the one, but you guys were doing that, and I wanted this to get some love. So August 29th on PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S. After more than 15 years, the mainline Mana series welcomes a fresh and exciting installment. Join Val, a newly designated soul guard, on an enthralling quest that takes him around the world. Nice. His mission is to guide his friends on a sacred pilgrimage to the legendary Tree of Mana. This new adventure promises dynamic, action-filled gameplay set in a vividly rendered, semi-open 3D world. Prepare to face formidable adversaries and form alliances with unique characters as you journey through this captivating realm. And yeah, I mean, this isn't really my kind of game. I don't really play the Japanese action RPGs, but this looks good, and Square Enix is bringing back this franchise. This is part of their big multi-platform push, making sure it's everywhere day one, and that's cool. I like that, so check it out.
Yep. Alrighty. All right, Burley. You and I picked the same game. I'm going to let you go ahead and describe it, and it's coming soon. We're looking forward to doing our extra take on this. It's one of the big ones from Ubisoft. Take it away.
So, yes, my pick of the week and Expat's pick of the week, Star Wars Outlaw. Experience the first ever open world Star Wars game set between the events of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Explore distinct planets across the galaxy, both iconic and new. Risk it all as Kay Vess, as an emerging scoundrel seeking freedom and the means to start a new life. Along with her companion Nyx, fight, steal, and outwit your way through the galaxy crime syndicates as you join the galaxy's most wanted. So it is technically coming August 30th to Xbox Series, PC, and PlayStation 5, or you can buy the higher editions to get it on Tuesday the 26th, or you can or Tuesday the 27th, or you can do what I'm doing, Ubisoft Plus for a month for $20-something, get that early access time, and play it on console or PC. So I'm definitely gonna play this. Yeah, Chardog was already with me when I started making the Streamloots deck for this game. So I know he's already thought of a million ways he's gonna try to get me to do shots and kill me.
Yeah. Basically just getting barely drunk. Although I don't know how you're gonna do the strategy drunk. It's just gonna triple down and kill everyone.
Well,
Missing every shot.
let's get back to
Totally.
talking about this game, though. I mean, this game, what I'm really so excited for is the fact that there are no lightsabers in this game.
Yes.
And I've said this many times. This is going. There's no Jedi, no Sith. It's basically, commoners in the Outer Rim who are, in different types of crime syndicates and battling each other, and it should be really, really fun. I'm really, really excited for this game. Yeah.
Those look excellent.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can throw things to blow up specific locations.
I'm sure you got grenades and detonators. I'm sure you'll have stuff like that.
How in Spider-Man you could blow up the electric system, things like that. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just interested in how these worlds could be similar to what we've seen in Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. So yeah, and how they made them look. So yeah.
And now I'm not going to need to do 90 flip jumps and pull the vine, so I can swing across. And if I don't press the button in time, I die and have to redo all that again. Yeah, no, I'm curious going around the speeders, since you actually have vehicles in this game, and you can just speeder just going through, driving through these planets.
You can shoot while you're on it. You can, and they got the space battles, so you can go out in space and have space dogfights as well. And this game, it's got a lot going for it.
Plus the little creature.
I really hope that this game is incredible in every way, and I want to see it really shine and be like a game of the year contender.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Has all the possibilities for that. Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the story aspects of it as well. I mean, how they make Crimson Dawn out to be in this game. Just don't throw Darth Maul into it, because then you get the lightsaber and all that stuff. It's just I want to see more Akira. I want to see more Akira and how they depict Kira in this game.
Is he dead at this point?
He's alive. No, he's alive. He's alive.
This is between 5 and 6, right?
Yeah, but in Solo, he's alive.
Solo's in the past.
Yeah, but Solo is way in the past. It's when he's younger.
He dies in.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Rebels.
in Rebels, yes, Obi-Wan, kills him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I mean, you're
but
sure
Kira,
you're Star Wars fans, because
Could be, of course.
what's your deal with lightsabers, man?
Yeah, right. He's just had enough, and I get it.
I've had enough of it. I just want to see the crime syndicates and their dealings and especially like Kira. Yeah, I want to see how she's running things. And,
as we've seen in the new shows, lightsabers are kind of pointless because being stabbed by one doesn't kill you anymore.
Yeah, if you're into Ahsoka,
yeah. There's armor that's immune to it. There's a material that can disrupt it and shut it down. So yeah, lightsabers are just trash. What do you need it for?
Exactly. This is why the Jedi should not be around.
Yeah,
It's forever.
Useless, basically.
The upgrade the system doesn't work anymore. Great, got it. Makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, those are our picks of the week. So you go to www.releases.com to check out all the games that are coming this week and into September and beyond. So www.releases.com.
Oh, Burley, you gotta take a shot every time they make one of those weird references, like Nerf herders or Blue Mill, all the classic references.
Oh God! Don't give them ideas. They're already too creative. For the love of God.
Burley, if you see two enemies, aim to the middle, okay? Just do that.
Jeez. All right. Okay, so it's time to get to our programming notes. So here on the Arena Productions, we are not only video games and game development news and making videos on that. We also make videos on entertainment and pop culture related shows and movies. So yeah, it's time for our programming notes. But first, still on the gaming topics, Leah, she put out her video on Emio. So I want to show that here. So The Smiling Man, our release preview of that. So yeah, she did a really excellent 2-minute preview for us all, and of course she played the demo. Leah, anything else you want to say about the video that you made there? Yeah.
I mean, I had fun editing. I was sick and tired of my voice by the end of it. But I think I did a good job, like pointing down the good, the bad, what you can expect. So minding the expectations. And I think overall, like people can get a feel of how the game really looks like and how it plays. When I think that's the most important thing of a game preview, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, so please go and check that out. Yeah. And now over on the entertainment side, I put out a video on Blue Eye Samurai Season 2 and the long wait that we're going to have before we get it. But if you have not seen Blue Eye Samurai, please check it out. It is amazing. It's an amazing show over on Netflix. So high quality equals long waits. So please go and check that out. So more information on Season 2, when it is coming, as well as the proposed Season 3 that they are talking about. So yeah, all that in my my video there. So please check that out. Blue Eye Samurai Season 2, high quality equals long waits. So really, really excited for Season 2. Season 1 was amazing. Please check it out if you haven't. So
that show's violent, by the way.
it is violent. It is
It's very violent.
It's very graphic. Yes.
I was gonna try to watch it, and I started watching the first episode, and I was like kind of into it, but then I was like, I think my daughter was around. And
Oh no.
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 You
got to teach her about violence early on.
You know what I did watch, though, and then she watched some with me, which was cute. I started watching My Hero Academia.
Yeah, nice.
That's good.
I've never watched it, and of course, I love superheroes. And, you know, I've heard good things, and they just finished it, right? So I was like, yeah, it's a good time to start checking it out, man. It's a good time, and my daughter seemed interested, so like that's cool.
Yeah, good stuff. So please check it out. But it is not Blue Eye Samurai is not a series for kids. That's for sure. Yeah, it's very, very violent, very graphic in nature. So
Yeah.
yep. And last but certainly not least, our Season 2 preview of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Burley, our resident expert on the Lord of the Rings. Yes, he was with me to do this preview. So 3 episodes drop on the 29th. Yes. So I'm going to be a busy bee
homework
this coming week. Homework and a lot of stuff to do this coming week. So yeah. So The Rings of Power Season 2 is coming on Amazon. So please check out our preview of that. Burley, anything you want to say about that? And we had some comments. I
got some stuff wrong, and I appreciate people pointing it. The person that pointed it out very nicely. Really do appreciate that. I'm very interested to see where we're going to go this season and how much we're getting. Unlike House of the Dragon, this doesn't look like this is going to blue ball us this season. Fights and battles. You're going to get battles in this season.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, dropping 3 of the 8 episodes all at once. I'm very, very curious to see.
Yeah.
Do you know how long these episodes are? Because they had some really long episodes.
Oh, they're going to be like 50-something minutes. Probably one of them's going to at least be an hour or
somewhere
over
like
an hour.
over an hour, I think.
Yeah, like an hour 12 and stuff like that.
I'm happy to get lengthy, stuff. More content. That's nice. But 3 of them. That's gonna be like you're basically gonna watch a movie, a Lord of the Rings movie on Thursday. You get a whole new Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
3 hour.
in my comment on the video, because Burley was saying all these names sound the same, like very similar. And I said another thing they stole from George R. Martin stole from Tolkien, because when you watch House of the Dragons, all the names sound the same as well. So that was heavily inspired. It's really
Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, and Rhaena.
Yeah.
See?
I mean Rainies.
And if you know who all of them are, that's good for you. That's awesome.
And Burley was just saying all the names sound the same, like House of the Dragons. That's it.
Well, yeah. Well, it's true. It's like the dwarves, the king and the prince are the same name. It's basically it's father and senior. It's like that's the thing. Too many characters, too many names.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
who is Gandalf, and
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And the Dark
Because they can,
Wizard, and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
because they
I'm not
only
deep
have
into
so much of the stuff that they can use. They don't have all the rights to all the materials, so they have to make liberties and change. I know people were mad with season 1 with some of the stuff, and it's like they don't have access to everything, so I got to give them a break on that. They have to change
But
things. It was entertaining to me, at least.
but like
I
this
enjoyed
is
it.
before the first book, right? This is like
Oh yeah,
the
Oh, way
this is
before. Yeah.
well, way before
yeah
The Hobbit. This is like all the backstory and stuff. Because this is when
yeah
Sauron is learning how to make the craftsmanship of rings and all that stuff.
yeah. This is basically like the epilogue, like the epilogue of
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings. So like the first 3 to 4 pages where he introduces like the species and all of that. He
Mhm.
mentions this very briefly. So yeah, they
Yeah.
you,
have to make
you,
things up. It's not
you,
it's not
Yeah,
you
but
know
as
right
you
what I
now
said
would
in
first
do?
season.
our video that we did, Burley, we will get battles, the battles between the humans and the orcs in this coming season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You, you know what I would do? That guy that everyone's saying it's Gandalf, he's not Gandalf. At the end of the season finale, when it is over the last season, Ian McKellen shows up as Gandalf. Yes, that's what I would have done. Yeah, because of course you can do some CGI so it looks younger, right? Because he's older. But that's what I would have done. And then the real Gandalf shows up and helps them to do whatever they do in the end.
I just love Gandalf's line.
Yeah.
I don't want that guy.
Shall
Yeah.
not
No.
pass.
I don't want that guy to be Gandalf because like I just like that he's a different character. That's fine. Like whatever. There's something mystery to it. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? If he's Gandalf, then you're like, all right, well, I guess he can't die. He can't. I don't know. he doesn't play.
Then he might as well write on him plot armor.
Yeah, right. I mean, of course, Gandalf
Yeah.
kind of does famously die and come back, but whatever. Like that, you gonna do that again? No, you're not.
No. All right.
He just has the auto life status permanently.
Yeah. Right?
No, what Gandalf did was he made the team run away and he solo killed the boss, so he gets all the XP. That's what he did. And then he leveled up.
Nah, he's just chilling, smoking somewhere, just watching everything happen.
Just
Because that's
smoking with the
Gandalf.
Hobbit.
Like it's
Smoking some pipe
yeah.
weed.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our programming notes. So please check out all of our content here on the Arena Productions. Really appreciate all of your support and watching our content. And thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast, the Gaming News Podcast. So let's talk about the games that we'll be playing this coming week. Burley, what you got on your agenda for this week?
Well, Monday, gonna finish up that Peach game at the last bit of it, and then I can fully tell you all my thoughts on that game. And then Star Wars Outlaws. After that, it's just Outlaws, and on what little personal time I'll be giving myself Persona 3 Reload. Slowly working through that.
Oh,
Nice.
Did you just start it, or you're starting it soon?
I've been playing it for the last bit. I'm already in September. Yeah.
Oh, you streaming that?
No, just playing on my off time.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to be in September in a week, so you're ahead of me.
For me, I'll be playing Outlaws when it comes out. So looking forward to it. So yeah. Carl, how about you?
So I bought a video game. Can you
Yeah.
believe it?
Ooh.
And I bought it on Steam, and it is called Tactical Breach Wizards. And I talked about this
Yeah.
a while ago.
My pick of the week last week.
Last week's pick of the week for food.
Yeah, Tactical Breach Wizards. I played the demo on Steam Next Fest, and it is just this fantastic, like really cool, wizards in like a sort of modern setting where they're like, sort of like a SWAT team, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and the writing is so good in this game. There's so much like interesting, ways that they're like using magic with modern stuff and mixing that all. And it's very much like a puzzle. like each combat doesn't feel like a regular tactics strategy game. It just feels more like this is a puzzle that I have to solve, each of these rooms, right? And do I breach from this room, this door, or this door with this character? Do I move X, Y, and Z here or there? You can rewind all your steps, right? Because the main guy's power is like he can see into the future, but only like a second or something like that. So like he can rewind like an action or something that just happened, right? But his power is a little more than that. Like he gets flashes of stuff even further in the future, but he can't really control that. I do like how the magic is sort of like not everybody knows exactly how it all works. Characters, like it's not like everybody's just born with magic, and they sort of explain it that like people just have like a magic awakening and they suddenly have like this power and they have to learn how to utilize it. Like there's the third character that I just got. She was a surgeon, and she found out that her power is she can restore people's like damage to their body within the last hour, right? But only if they're dead. So if you get shot, right, she has to then kill you, and then she could restore you back to life. So I'm like, I love it. This is great.
Dude, I was saying that last week. I was like, I found the concept so good. That's why I chose the game. I found it so good, man. I'm happy that you're enjoying the game, man. Really happy.
Yeah, and I'm happy that it's getting good reviews. It has an 87 right now on OpenCritic with 11 scores. On Steam, it has a 98% positive for 898 reviews. So, stellar game, indie of the year, strategy, game of the year.
Nice. All right, Leah, how about you? What are you going to play this week?
I've been relaxing in Tears of the Kingdom, let's be honest. Like, finishing Sea of Stars was very stressful, so I just went back to Tears of the Kingdom.
All right. Yeah, cool. And Fubu, did we get to you? What are you going to be playing this week? Yeah,
No, mine's, I'm going to finish Persona 5 Tactica. I am loving that game. The only gripe that I have, the only gripe I have with that game, and this is something that I like to do on these turn-based games, I like to have a full squad. So the fact that I can only use 3 of them, I'd rather have like a full map full of enemies and puzzles and fight with them all at once than having 3, because I usually don't die. I'm doing great with the game. I usually don't die, so I don't usually use all of them because my characters don't die. And then, of course, when I finish that game, because I'm almost finishing that game, I'm gonna go back to or start Wukong, because like I've been looking this way all the time. It's because my girlfriend's playing. She's at her home with my Steam, playing the Wukong, and I'm just looking at her dying to evolve. So I'm gonna make fun of her in a little bit. So, but that's what I'm gonna play: Persona 5 Tactica and Wukong. That's for the week.
Right.
No, Fubu, I kind of like that it was 3 because it's keeping in line with like Persona's sort of like faster paced combat, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want it to be like these battles are super long because you play a lot of battles in that game. And it's
I do a lot. I'm already on 45, so I'm almost ending the game.
Yeah, I finished the game, man. So. It's I want to say it's a slight bit of a slog at a certain point because I was just like, all right, you're kind of throwing at like. They do the whole, like, we're going to repeat some of the bosses. And I'm like, oh, okay. Come on now. Mm-hmm. Let's just get to the end here. Like, you don't need to pad this out. It's good as it is. But there's that little bonus. You know that if a character that wasn't in the previous battle gets like a buff.
Yes, exactly. There's the blue line around them. So they have the buff. Yeah.
So
I do understand that. But
I every battle, I would just switch to 3 characters. I just always switch it up so that I was always utilizing the different characters.
Yeah, I've been not stuck, but I've been stuck with Joker because one of the Persona combinations that I did. Yeah, I love Joker, and I like the fact on this game he talks more than Persona 5. Well, Persona 5, he talks. He has more opinions. Not that silent character. I think Persona 5 Strikers he also speaks because I played Persona 5 Strikers. But I was stuck with the Joker because I made on the Persona combinations. One of the combinations I did, you can get the inherent ability is you get rarer personas. So every battle that I'm doing, I want to have Joker. So at the end of the battle, I get more rare personas. So I'm kind of stuck with him like that way.
Yeah, you'll get that a lot later in the game. Like, it won't even be that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But loving it.
I love how this segment turns in from just the games that we've been playing to full reviews of particular games.
Yeah.
Forget.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you get Carl and Fubu Persona, and this go.
They got to
on
start
and
doing
on
some
and on.
preview videos for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hey,
stuff
Little
like
turn-based
that.
high
Leah,
five going on.
Leah, after I finish the game, you're playing. Because she gave me Persona 5 for my birthday, like I told you guys last week.
Yeah.
And after I finish Persona, you're going to play Persona because you need to play this game. It's
Well, I'm looking forward to getting more game release previews from all you guys. Yeah, so
Sounds good,
to
sounds
throw up
good.
here on the channel. So yeah, good stuff. All right, so it's time to end the show. I want to thank all of you for joining. For those of you in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And those of you that watch a video on demand later on, thank you so much for watching and supporting us here on the Arena Productions and the podcast here. So to end each and every episode, we do an indie recording artist spotlight. So we give information on a particular indie recording music artist to support their content. So this week's spotlight is on Borden Lulu. Borden Lulu is a musician, guitarist, and producer. His music is inspired by traditional and local art, as well as electronic, contemporary, and experimental music, from his album titled The Endless Road, and the song is called We Share This Convoy. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 183. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley Burleman Gaming, and Turn-Based Carl, and our special contributors to The Arena Productions, Fubu87 and Leah the Hatless. Thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you all for watching today. And we hope to catch you next week with the next episode. And we hope you all have a great week of gaming. So take care, everyone, and enjoy your week. Peace out.